Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Okay, I wanted to talk about something a little more lighthearted, but yet, I don't know, maybe some people think it's pretty serious. But uh, what is up with this? Should I call it a trend? This thing with the next generation, and part of me thinks that maybe this is just me because I'm getting old. I find myself just scratching my head when I'm talking to other generations, and I sit there going, "What are you talking about?" And then watching some of the things that pop up on my news feed, and this come across as the latest trend on TikTok, the latest Gen Z trend, and you're sitting there going, "How is that the latest trend? It's been around for like 100 years, 200 years." And I've seen a few different things come up on the news feed, and it's all these new trends that Gen Z, what is it, Gen Z, anyhow, whatever they want to be called, come up with. And you sit there going, That's not, how is that a trend?" And you didn't, and they all talk about it as if they invented it. So the first one, this news article, "The bedroom habit I refuse to give up, despite how gross some experts say it is." And the whole thing, basically, the article is just about making your bed and how it's a good routine to get into, to making your bed first thing in the morning. Funny enough, I remember my parents used to say, get up, make your bed in the morning. Generational thing. My parents, grandparents used to do it. Get up, you make your bed first thing in the morning. I'm not a big fan. Maybe I'm just too lazy. It's like my wife gets up first thing in the morning, makes the bed. It's something that's been drilled in from generation to generation. I'd guarantee great grandparents in World War One, they would have been getting up, making the bed first thing in the morning. What really struck me with this article was this young lady saying retired US Navy Admiral William H. McRaven popularized the idea of making your bed first thing in his commencement speech to graduates at the University of Texas in 2014. So apparently, he popularized the idea in 2014. No one else had ever thought about it. He then went on to write a book promoting the concept of making your bed. This admiral came up with the concept. Make your bed, it'll start you off for the day. And I'm sitting there going, surely this lady can't be serious. It goes on to say, if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. He said in his famous speech. Apparently, it's a famous speech about making your bed. I'm like, come on, fellas. This making your bed first thing in the morning and starting your day with making your bed is not an idea that came out in 2014. Uh, anyway, so I'm still reading again in my news feed. Maybe it's because I've been looking up trends and that. Again in my news feed, ABC News. Young people in China embrace stooping culture of turning rubbish into trash. I just saw the stooping culture, and I actually thought, stupid me, thought it was like a person walking along, like stooping down or something. I had no idea what they're talking about. Turning rubbish into treasure. Here we go. So this is what's happening in China. As night falls on the streets of Shanghai, Mikiko Chen can often be found prowling. She's prowling through the winding alleyways of the city, hunting for discarded items. I pick up all sorts of things: chairs, wine boxes, wardrobes, bowls, and cups. It's like treasure hunting for me, she says. It's best to do this during nights because waste collectors will take all of them away during the next day. The 27-year-old digital marketer is among the first adopters of stooping in China, a practice that refers to picking up discarded furniture and other goods on the street for reuse. She says the concept was inspired by New Yorkers who often leave unwanted things on the stoops or doorsteps leading up to the entrances of buildings. The core concept of stooping for me is to make the best use of things. just like, is this really a trend in China now? Stooping, going around and collecting rubbish. Hey, when I was very first married in the 90s, me, young wife, young baby child, went to Melbourne. I'd never seen this before. Okay, I went to Melbourne to live, and I noticed that people would randomly put what I thought was rubbish out on the street. I'm talking mid 90s, late 90s, probably it is. I can't remember the exact year. Late 90s, let's say. People would, randomly just put stuff out on the street. Next day, gone. Next minute, gone. Fascinated me. What is this? Almost 30 years ago now. 20-something years, 25 years ago. And I'm looking going, what is going on here? So I realized if you want something gone, you got an old washing machine, chuck it out on the street, chuck it out on the footpath. Someone sees it. Next day, it's gone. Sure enough. I hate to tell this little Chinese girl, they didn't come up with it. Obviously, they were doing it in New York. They were doing it in Melbourne 25. They're probably doing it in Melbourne 50 years ago, for all I know. That's just when I first saw it. I'd never seen people do it much in Queensland. Because a lot of the Queenslanders I knew didn't want to throw out rubbish. They didn't like it. Anyway, things that they want to do. So then you've got this next trend. So you've got the stooping. You've got the people that think that they've come up with in 2014 making your bed. That'll get you off. And then you've got the last trend, which is silent walking. Oh, I'm going to do another one as well. But yeah, silent walking is a movement taking Gen Z by storm. But it's copying criticism. You know why it's copying criticism? Because it's just silly. Let's watch this.
I'm committing to one silent walk a day.
Not me unintentionally starting a movement. It's called silent walking and it's about to change your life. So this all started when my nutritionist recommended that I start walking 30 minutes a day instead of doing like insane cardio like I used to. Those workouts were making my body inflamed. That's a story for another time. And as I was about to go out on my first 30-minute walk, my sweet boyfriend challenged me to walk without distractions. No AirPods, no podcast, no music, just me, myself, and I. And at first I was like, no, my anxiety could never, which is probably what you're thinking. But something within me was like, let me just try it. And look, the first 2 minutes are mayhem. Your mind is racing, you're gonna have anxiety. Something happens after 2 minutes where your brain just gets into this flow state and everything is quiet. And suddenly, you can hear yourself. Look, the universe and your intuition comes to you through whispers. So if you're never alone with your thoughts and you never get quiet, you're gonna miss the whispers. And those whispers are the most important to be paying attention to. After 30 minutes of silent walking, I suddenly had the clarity that I had been always looking for. The brain fog lifted. Suddenly, all these ideas are flowing into me because I'm giving them space to enter. When you're listening to a podcast or music, you're distracting yourself. You're not letting the signs and the ideas have space to come to you. Every time I finish a silent walk, I have a new idea for my business. I've untangled a weird situation in my head that I've been ruminating over, and I feel like a lot of my current question marks get answered. Look, if I can do it, you can do it, I promise. Just try.
Oh, seriously, I can't take these people. I can't take them seriously. So she's come up. This is a trend that she's apparently come up with. She set the trend. Well, read this article and tell me. So apparently some other trends they've had is everything showers, bed rotting, bare minimum Mondays. I thought that was just Mondays in my 20s from about 18. As soon as I left high school, every Monday was a bare minimum Monday. Which have been adopted to varying degrees of social media fanfare. Now the latest Gen Z movement take the youngest generation. Ironically, it's not new that it's not that new at all. Silent walking. I love the way it's like, I love the way she's explaining how, you'll have all these great euphoric moments and it'll just transform your life. The brain fog will lift. No music. Who would have thought that if you have some time to yourself, don't listen to music or podcasts, except for the Slippery Slope, of course. Maybe you'll have some time to work out some things that have been troubling your mind. But anyway, I just, is it just me, or is like every second person from the Gen Z generation suffer from anxiety? I've never, I swear, I'm Gen X, like I think smack bang in the middle of Gen X, and I've never heard of this this suffering from anxiety until this generation. And it's like every second person I've met from this generation is always like anxiety. They've all got anxiety. I've got no idea what's going on. Anyway, last one, and this isn't really a trend. This is just I don't know, someone coming to reality about having to work 9 to 5. Have a listen to this.
I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I'm so upset. Oh my God. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just like the 9 to 5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, like if it was remote, you get off at 5 and you're home and everything's fine. But like, I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and like people that drive to the office, like you don't get off at 5. And I know it could be worse. I know I could be working longer, but like I literally get off, it's pitch black. Like I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like how do you have time to like meet like a guy? I don't know. Like how do you have time for like dating? Like I don't have time for anything. And I'm
I wasn't going to do this episode because I thought, oh, what am I doing? But it's just this is just a bit of a what the flip, you know? I mean, come on. I can't take, I shouldn't say this. My kids are, they're Gen Z, but I do find it hard to take this generation seriously. I mean, they complain about working 9 to 5. They think they come up with all these trends, which aren't trends. They're just things that have been around for a long time, and they've just kind of put a bit of a different spin on it, maybe. I've got no idea. I mean, the silent walking, for crying out loud. Oh, but I tell you what, Gen Z, they are entertaining. They are entertaining as heck, because I don't know if it's just the narcissism or just the like the silly way that they talk, but oh, they're an entertaining generation. I'll tell you that. But let me know what you think, hey? I mean, really, is this really the way Gen Zs all think, or is it just the TikTokers? I've met a few, then that seems like the way they think. They all think they've come up with everything. They've come up with every new trend. Everything they do is something brand new. And I was thinking, oh, dude, not only did I do it, my parents did it. My grandparents did it. You're blowing my mind. I don't know what you're thinking here. Anyway, I should probably hope my kids don't watch this. They'll be annoyed at me. Oh, you got to do a silly episode every now and then after a serious, you know. Let me know what you think, Gen Z. And if you're in Gen Z, let me know what you think. Is this really the way you all think? You know, you all come up with the trends. You all think you're setting trends. Anyway, I'm Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening to It's What the Flip, The Slippery Slope.
Wheels up on a cool spring evening. The breeze comes from behind. We join the birds out over the water and leave the city far behind. Hear the music playing in the distance. There's a love song on the line. Look out the window, the birds out on the water, and I'm singing my own rhyme. Here comes the sun, dancing on the moon. Here Here comes my baby in the distance. I can smell a sweet perfume. Can you see the stars? They're dancing to a tune. I know my baby, she's waiting in the distance and singing her own tune. I'm still in love with you. Touchdown, the air is so much warmer. The breeze blows by my side. I take a step, look out into the distance. I see her smile one more time. Hear the music playing in the distance. I hear a love song one more time. See the birds dancing in the moonlight, and I'm singing my own rhyme. Here comes the sun, dancing on the moon. Here comes my baby in the distance. I can smell a sweet perfume. Can you see the stars? They're dancing to a tune. I know my baby, she's waiting in the distance and singing her own tune. Yeah, yeah. Here comes the sun, dancing on the moon. Here comes my baby in the distance. I can smell a sweet perfume. Yeah, yeah. Can you see the stars? They're dancing to a tune. I know my baby, she's waiting in the distance and singing her own tune. I'm still in love with you.